and good day,
Blog Talk
good morning. That was the introduction. All right, here we all are, and it's so wonderful once again to be with all of you out here, out there, wherever you are, whatever country. We all love you. And this is our surprise Zorra call. And today is January the 12th, 2017. Isn't that amazing? So before we begin, our regular call, we will now begin with our invocation. It's a very important time to be able to go to find a place within where you can bring in the light and the love that is within you, and that is where we shall begin. So, again, find yourself a comfortable place. If you're sitting, just sit with your back straight and begin to relax as we begin. We begin with the violet flame of light. I am my I am presence. I breathe into my heart center. I am a temple of light. I call forth the full power of the violet flame of forgiveness to transmute the causes, core effects, habits and records and memories of every thought, feeling, word, or actions I have ever expressed in any time frame or dimension, known or unknown, that reflects anything associated with, and I'll say the few, poverty consciousness, victimhood, separation, powerlessness, low vitality, suffering, ill health, disease, misuse of male or female energy, misuse of power, self-hatred, shame, fear, rage, blame, or hatred, negative judgment, prejudice, attachment to people, doing things my way, or lack and limitation of any kind. With forgiveness and love as my intention, I blaze the violet flame through every atomic and subatomic particle and wave of precious life energy that has my signature on it in any place and time that reflects anything less than the infinite perfection of God or Goddess. I trust the God or Goddess within myself to transmute every speck of my being into the highest love and light and health and abundance that I am. I ask my I am presence to fill the space with the golden light of God's infinite light, love, health, and abundance. And just feel this wondrous energy flowing in through you. As you begin to feel, as you feel that love and light and peace and abundance. And now we bring in the pillar of flame of protection, the white light of pillar. This white light of pillar is not hollow, but it is a pillar of white light that is from the heavens, and it is surrounding your being. This is your power of protection, of protections, and bring that forth to always be your protection. As that is true, so it is. So be it.
You are that you are.
I am that I am. 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 Knowing that you are one with all that is. Before we begin to bring our guests. We have a couple of things that we are going to address. And this will start with our beloved Zorra. And this has to do with the present situation at hand in regards to our beloved Anne and that situation. All right, Zorra. And I think the purpose of this particular part of the call is because now we are going to be able to explain what many of you did not know because you were not privy to listen in to a call about it with a few because we did not have access to all of you. So here, beloved Zorra, has to do with your picture, Zorra.
Is Soraya coming?
Yes, she will be with you.
Indeed. 11 Masters.
This is this started back in, I guess, October.
October 26th?
Or thereabouts.
Indeed.
Yes.
In regards to the portrait.
Yes.
Understand, beloved Masters, that we in Hollow Earth, we have what is termed as a different colored skin than you. Our skin tone is a turquoise teal or a turquoise green, if you understand what is in the terms there. And the portrait portrayed what is termed a greenish color. Now, however, understand, color doesn't mean anything. So the portrait that was given forth was a tool given to you, infused with the power of Prime Creator and myself for healing you, for healing your population, if you will. So we sent it forth to you by way of Anne. And it seemed well intended, which it is, but received not well, as most of you already know. Due to, I will not mention names, but due to certain individuals that what is called granted their disapproval of the photo of the portrait of myself. Understand that because of the large content of copper in the water, in the crust of the earth and in the hollow of the earth, high contents of copper causes the skin to turn green or turquoise green. So that is our skin tone, turquoise green. But also understand it has been programmed into your population. That green denotes reptilian or a lizard or draconian. And it means none of the above. Turquoise green denotes the color of my skin due to the high contents of copper in the water in the interior world and also in different parts of the crust of the earth. We do have a race of blue beings in the crust of the earth. They are short and stubby, but they are green, they are blue, blue-skinned. Now, when the portrait was given out as a means, a contact point, if you will, of my essence to bring forth the healing to you, and it was done. And many have benefited from it. More have benefited from it than those that have not. And I will tell you also, beloved masters, showing no blame upon anyone, they misinterpreted the meaning. They misinterpreted the color.
Perhaps you could explain. Explain.
Yeah, I will. Understand, my beloved child, Zorra, when she was stationed at Area 51, she witnessed and met several draconian and what is termed as reptilian. And I can assure you, beloved masters, they were not green. Draconians are a dark grayish color and a light
Bluish
chest. Yeah, bluish, light bluish gray chest. And reptilians are silver in color with a scaly skin, and they have a light blue chest area. So understand, this is their color, not green, as you have been programmed to believe.
Indeed.
And I say programmed because people are programmed through science fiction movies, through the movies in the theater, through what is called the writings of writers, denoting a reptilian as having green skin. They do not. There is a race of beings in the other star systems that are green, but they're not reptilian. They look like you or me, but they're green.
And they have higher vibration.
And they have a very high vibration, frequency, and consciousness. Very high. So for you to judge or to blame or to point the finger, that is your reality. It is not mine.
Beloved, this is I, Zorra. There is so much going on in your time, in this existence. You are being tested almost every day. You don't know from whence it comes from either. It is how you react. What your thoughts and your action, those are the key things in terms of how you respond to any type of situation that comes upon you. It is time to make decisions, for these are high energy times for you to become, to evolve into who you truly are, the knowing beings of truth and love that you are. The picture of my beloved is purely of the light, and those of you who resonate do know this to be the truth. For anyone who feels that the energies were negative, it is because that is what they thought it to be. What you think is what you are. There is no one to blame. For this is a wonderful time for you to learn and make the right and proper decisions for yourself. See, for those of you that see the picture of my beloved as of healing, that is fine and that is good. If it is you who see it to be of a negative nature, that is fine as well.
Indeed.
For all of you are all going through many challenges. Those are only teachers for you so that they can help you to know the difference. So this separation with so-called some Hollow Earth Network, we accept without any negativity. We send all those that have felt the picture to be of a negative nature, we send them much love. For that is all that is love. When you know that is all there is in your life, then you will know what the truth is. All of you are working towards this elevation of your vibration. Beloved, do you have more to say regarding your picture or the situation? Indeed.
Beloved masters, when I had my other portrait done, the one before, and the blue skin, there was no argument, as is so termed, no judgment, no what is called animosity or any of this. But the moment that changed, that's when the judging came. That's when the pointing of fingers, that's when what is called negativity came into it because of a change that took place. We of the hierarchy observe all the time. And in a sense, it was a test for you to see what reaction you would have. What you call status quo was to change a bit. And you see the result in it. The negative, the instant judgment, what is called the blaming of one of another, backstabbing, as it is so termed in your world, or what is called in slander. And what is in the terms of slander, I understand in your law books that is what is called a felony. Mm-hmm. But irregardless of it, it's because of the change that took place. We observed it. We observed the difference, how quickly you strayed away, following another path. Had we remained the way it was, with a blue skin, there would never have been an argument. There would never have been what is called a test or a test.
A conflict.
Or a conflict.
Indeed.
So in a sense, yes, it was a test.
Of course it was.
And you failed miserably.
Well,
but anyway, we do not what is called judge you because of it.
There is no failing.
Well, I'm speaking of the test. It's a sense of failing, but a sense of not failing.
It is a learning.
It's a learning curve, if you will.
It is time for all of you to realize who you are.
Indeed.
It is a test.
And I will tell you this also. Some of you gods and some of you goddesses on your planets, guess what color you are? Green. Now, what does that tell you? There are those on this world, incarnate, green beings, but they're not lizards and they're not reptilian. And they are highly evolved beings. So, put your judgment away, put your, what is called blaming away, and only cleave to what is termed as love. Because love is the answer to all of your ills, everything. Love is the answer. Matters not who you are or what you think. Love conquers it all.
Love is always the answer.
It is indeed.
Indeed.
So for those of you out there that, and I can tell you that all of you are from a different star system. And some of you are from the same star system, but in other galaxies and such as. Now, so you can go on and judge, you can go on and blame, and you can go on and whatever on your path. Or you can come back to what is termed truth and stay there. Come back to love and light. Do not go the way of the dark, because the light will always win.
Indeed.
Of course. You wish to have your speakers now?
Well, I think that we are almost quite ready for our first
Would you like to say a little
speaker.
more?
I should.
Good. Go ahead.
This is for beloved Anne, if she is listening. We wish to tell you how much we love you. We love you just the way you are. We love each of you just the way you are, without expectations. For you see, everyone will get to the same place at some point in their existence. You are each individually on a separate path.
So.
And everything that comes to you is always for a specific reason. It is to help you raise your consciousness levels. It is to help you to raise the love that you are in essence. It is for you to know more than what you see or feel and think, to know beyond your 5 or 6 senses. It is to know. We wish as well at this time that there are many changes that are occurring on your planet. You are going to be making decisions. It is for you to make a difference. It is for you to now hold the truth and be bold to hold that truth and move in this direction. So, with this, we wish you love always. And for you, that you know the truth within you.
And the truth shall set you free.
Beloved one.
Indeed.
All right. So this is not exactly discussing all of the intel that is out there. That is for later.
Indeed.
But in the meantime, we have a beloved master. I shall bring Quasar back so we can begin.
Indeed.
You may say more.
And remember, beloved masters, that you are still gods and goddesses. That has not changed. Only the way you think has changed. Put aside your pointing fingers, blaming, judgment, all of this. Put it away. It needs to be done out of your life. And do what is termed as to cleave to the truth of who you are and what you are. Gods and goddesses. And this is a fact. All of you are. Any way you look at it, you're gods and goddesses and co-creators of this planet. So,
we are in, I am.
You am that you am.
I am in the process of finding our beloved Thompson. So hang in there for a second.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, let us see which one he is.
I am looking for his number.
His number is?
I have it, Zorra.
253-509-011.
This is what I'm looking for, dear.
Or 1802. Either one.
I think I shall call.
Go ahead.
Invite co-host.
Maybe you may need to call him in. Indeed.
And here we go.
You can add him to the call.
Oh, no. Here, I will call him right here. No.
Ah, all right.
All right. It is styling.
Yes.
It is.
Indeed.
So perhaps he is here with us.
We shall see.
Mm-hmm. I shall look for your number now, Thompson. Let's see. Oh, here we are.
Indeed.
Hello.
Good evening.
Well, good evening.
Thompson. Thank you so much.
Are we on the air?
You are indeed.
Okay. It was silent up until this moment. And, you know, your lines were full, so that's probably a good thing.
Thank you, indeed.
Indeed. You have a large number listening. So
thank you so much for being on our call again, Thompson.
You're welcome.
We feel that your information is so right on target at this time because the blessings are right at hand, and it is happening now. And for those of you that are on this call, it is time to make decisions that you have control over instead of having to rely on the dark energies that are in place, which, and I am referring to the financial as well as the political systems that are presently in place. So this is your way of being able to take charge of your own life, and in doing so, you help the rest of humanity move into freedom, move into a place where things should be. Sorry, Thompson.
So beautiful.
Absolutely. Okay. All right, Thompson, it's all yours.
That's beautiful. Well, for anyone who's new, did you want to give them a little background about me or anything?
That's
okay.
Well, it's if you could give a short, otherwise it might be a little long. Maybe you
Sure.
could just kind of briefly tell people who you are, what you have been doing for quite some time already, to help all of us.
Number one, most important, is I have a tremendous amount of love in my heart for all of the listeners. Everyone present at this moment listening, thank you for being on this planet, helping to bring the light, cooperating with these beautiful, wise masters from the Hollow Earth, and standing for something that is higher frequency and more awakened, more enlightened than we find in the common society. So thank you. Many of you have already been in touch with me over the years, and for that I'm very grateful. We've become good friends. Some of you have tried the trust that I provide, the natural law trust. Some of you have tried the debt elimination and benefited from that. Many of you have said this has been the answers to your prayers. Others have not yet tried it, and still others are new and have never heard me before. But for those who have heard me, I always like to make it a little different each time so that you don't hear the exact same thing. So in honor of what Quasar is saying, I will say that I had a background in past lives of having experienced heavenly planes of existence. My full memory isn't back yet, but it does include the golden age of India, when India had an enlightened government, a government that did not tax its people, but instead was in touch with the cosmos, was in touch with cosmic consciousness, was in touch with aerial vehicles called the Vimana aircraft. These were anti-gravity vehicles. Atlantis had them as well, and Lemuria. So there were times in certain places around the world, Lemuria, Atlantis, India, and a couple other places, where brief periods had perfection, had utopia, had an ideal society on this planet where there was no disease, there was no crime, there was no war, there was really no poverty. I mean, many people lived with very little, but they were completely and utterly taken care of and lived in beauty and freedom and in comfort, basically in luxury. And so these times have existed on this planet. We call them golden ages. Many of you may be familiar with the cycles on the planet as governed by the energies of the cosmos that go in 26,000-year cycles. And in the Vedic tradition, this is called Sat Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga, Kali being the lowest frequency out of which we are just now coming, and Sat Yuga being the age of truth or the age of light, which we are going into now. And these move in sine wave patterns, very much like a sound wave. So it's like a major universal sound wave that comes in rise and fall of vibratory frequency on the planet. I and many millions of others around the world have had glimpses directly of this. I've been very blessed in this lifetime to have had clear experiences stepping into the completed golden age. And a knowing has been with me ever since that is precisely what this entire world is moving into. And that's why I've been so aligned with Zorra, Quasar, and everyone who is on this same beam. Saint Germain, the Ascended Masters, the Masters of the East, the one known as Sananda. These various masters and their light communities around the world are aligned with this new frequency. We all came in together. We incarnated together en masse with the intent to help sprinkle this planet with light and infiltrate the darkness, because the darkness had also been here and had tried to make America its headquarters. That's why we've got an unusually large dose of chemtrails and all the other challenges that have been being neutralized by the Ascended Masters and the benevolent ETs. So as Quasar just said, we are now about to see the complete public manifestation of the end of the dark domination because of the cycle of time and the fortunate positive use of free will to cooperate. So I like my comedian friend Swami Beyondananda, who said, "Oh, when people say the sky is falling, I say, no, it just looks that way because we are ascending." So we are ascending, and the manifestation of that is on all levels. The most important is in your heart. The most important is the happiness and the love you feel in the heart, and you might say immunity, the immunity you feel to adverse news. So when they keep trying to create crimes and wars, and they keep failing, we joke about it as being foiled again. You know, the dark force was foiled again. They just couldn't get a war going. They couldn't get enough fear stirred up to create a police state. They couldn't get their police state the way they wanted. Well, that's because it is not being allowed. The will of the universe as well as the will of mankind has been turning more and more and more and more towards this is the moment when we wake up, we realize we are gods in human form, and we are here to manifest our God nature from within and be the masters of kindness, of love, of oneness, of awakening, of enlightenment, and of the celestial heaven on earth. My big interest is the arts. I've been a musician and an artist, and that's what I'm looking forward to getting more into, is revolutionizing Hollywood, revolutionizing television, movies, music, the arts worldwide, and bringing the heavenly frequencies into the creative arts and educational entertainment. Along the way, I kind of got drafted sideways into this financial work, and it's not really my favorite activity, but I was gifted and blessed with some good gifts and resources in this area. And it started in 1990 with being introduced to the truth about the income tax. And then I was shown that none of that income tax money has ever gone, the federal income tax has ever gone to support schools and roads and hospitals and the things that people think that tax money goes for. It goes 100% to the Federal Reserve, which has been a private bank entity since 1913. And then you look them up and you find out what they're all about and what they've been doing and get educated about that and realize that, oh my God, my money's been going to an international crime syndicate. It's not been going to help society. So I, out of ethics, withdrew from that system. And it took me a few years to master it. And one of the big breakthroughs was in 1993 when I first started using pure common law sovereign trusts. And so to this day, I have had nothing but success with those trusts, and everyone I know who has used the kind that we use has had success, and they've gotten better and better and better and better. To now, we don't call it common law anymore. We call it natural law. It has improved, it has become stronger, it has become more impervious, and now this trust has been protecting everyone who uses it so that you can move your commerce, all of your commerce, out of the taxing venues, out of the old enslaving paradigm of statutory entities, LLCs, corporations, or your personal name, and into one of these trusts. You can do the same thing with it that you did everything else. You can bank, you can do business, you can run institutes, you can run spiritual and religious and educational operations, you can have it for personal purposes as a family holding entity. You can put your salary into it if your boss will agree to it and will help you with the arrangements or the discussions around that if you wish. We also have a book about it now called Natural Law Trust, Asset Protection for Peaceful People. And that we're going to publish far and wide. We're going to put out many thousands of copies of that. You can get your copy, and it's basically free for those who order it by ebook. We haven't yet got it out on paper much yet. We're going to work on that as well. But for those who would like to be affiliates with us, if you know people who might like such a trust and you would like commissions for referring them, or you have connections with media, big audiences, like, for example, we would like to connect with the Veterans Today people. They have like 20 million listeners per week or hits to their website or something like that. I would very much like to be a speaker on that show and any other big shows. We'd like to get this word out to the big numbers, and you can participate with us by making introductions. And for being an introducer, we will call you an ambassador of freedom. And you can be an affiliate with Brilliance in Commerce under Hollow Earth, with working with Zorra and myself, which will mean our two-tier system will provide overrides. That means payments twice a month for all the orders that pour in to you, and then overrides to the Hollow Earth Network. So it's a win-win-win situation. It's increasing the light on the planet. It's delivering freedom. It is establishing the new paradigm in commerce, and it is also generating immediate here and now funds until, the big funds come in, until the RV happens and the global currency reset. Until all of that actually lands, this is something that can go ahead and enhance your experience here and now. Debt elimination is the other great success, 100% success rate. We have had no failures for everyone who has followed very simple ABC instructions that we provide. 1, 2, 3, fill in the colors, fill in the blanks, do this administratively, no court in most cases is needed. You just send these very powerful, pointed, laser-like letters to the pretender lenders who issued the MasterCard or the Visa or the Discover card or the student loan. And these imposters get exposed, and they have no defense to what is being said in these letters. They will usually send some nonsense back. We instruct you to simply send the same letter again about a month later. They'll probably send some more nonsense back. You send it again, maybe a third time, maybe a fourth time. Around about the 4th, 6th, 8th, or 10th time, anywhere in that, like maybe 3, 4, 5 months up to, well, we've had it go as long as 14 months in one case. A student loan victory happened to a guy who was persistent. He just kept hammering them. He kept using our letters and just sending it over and over and over again. Certified mail. They gave up. They admitted. Well, I say admission, it's tacit, meaning they didn't rebut. They had no argument. They had no defense, meaning he won. It's a victory. And we call it a victory statement because they put it in writing. We post it on our website. So the website is brillianceincommerce.com /Zorrea. So brilliance, BrillianceBrillianceIncommerce.com /ZARAYA. So brilliance, just like the brilliant midday sun, but with a CE on the end, brillianceincommerce.com /Zorrea. And there you will see both the debt elimination system and the trust. And if you click on the debt elimination system, you can see all the evidences of success, the victory letters, the victory statements, and the fact that no one has ever failed. What is it, 15 years now, since 2002. If they followed the instructions, the debts went away. You got to follow the instructions and not give up. And we're here to support you. We have a robust customer service department. We're here to help you, here to walk you through it. We don't do it for you, but we are there to support you. And that empowers you. It makes you a lot stronger. And guess what? You're improving the economy. You're actually improving the economy by getting rid of that debt, stopping to pay tribute to this system that is dying, that's on its way out, that's been basing everything on lies and on a debt-based economy. It's withdrawing support from them and redirecting your well-earned funds into more life-supporting activities, hopefully such as improving your health, improving your spiritual growth, improving your education, helping your children, improving your house. So redirecting funds that were otherwise going down the drain to a destructive international network, by withdrawing your support from them, you are doing the very best thing you can to help correct the situation. Also, by sending our administrative letters in, guess what? It's challenging the clerks, the secretaries, the people who open the mail, and they go, oh my God, there's no defense. They haven't had any. It's just like Joe Bannister. You ever heard of Joe Bannister? He's the former gun-carrying criminal investigation division IRS agent from San Francisco who innocently thought he was doing a good thing for America originally as a patriot. And he discovered the discrepancies in the IRS code between that and what was actually happening in their practices and how it was not correlating with the Constitution. So he wrote a letter to his superiors, innocently thinking that they would answer and clear up his confusion. Instead of answering him, they recommended that he resign. Big shock. So he did, and he began giving speeches and educating the public about the crimes that the IRS is committing. And then they prosecuted him in 2005, and he won. They lost. So Joe Bannister won. The same kinds of things are happening now with the debt elimination area. Is the banking system is getting exposed. And our administrative letters going to the CEOs and the CFOs of these big institutions are putting their secretaries and their employees and everybody else on notice. You can't get away with this anymore. We're moving the economy into an asset-based system as required by Basel III. And if everyone here on the call knows what Basel III is, Basel, Switzerland is the home of BIS, Bank of International Settlements, central bank of all central banks, mandated that the world move from a dark age debt-based system to a golden age asset-based system. And it's taking place every day, every day, every day. There's progress towards it happening. It's landing. It's materializing. It's, pardon me?
I said, beloved master.
Yeah.
Would you like to open up for questions for you?
Let's open it up to questions. Absolutely. I've probably said enough to spark some interest and some curiosity and even skepticism. I welcome skepticism. So absolutely. Please. Yeah. Do you have some hands raised?
Hey, well, I was wondering, first of all, Thompson, I have a question for you. For many people that have a reluctance to having to really, like for somebody who has some debt elimination issues or problems, lots of people don't feel like, oh, do I have to do this? And then they get the recurrent calls again about you owe this and this and that, and having to rebuttal with these people by sending them letters. It seems sometimes for many people that it's too much of a hassle.
That's a very good point.
And they don't feel like...
Yeah.
And they don't feel like they have enough support to keep them going in that direction to hold strong and continue.
Well, the question is, was your debt service $10 a month? If that's all you were paying to Visa, MasterCard, or student loans, probably not worth it. Go ahead and pay your $10 a month and pay it off, you know. But if your debt service is $300 or $500 or $1,000, and you're only going to spend $450 one time for the rest of your life to buy our system, you're probably a lot better off buying our system because you can cease making those payments. Wouldn't that be a lot less stressful to just send an administrative letter once a month for a few months? That would seem to me to be a whole lot less stressful. And as far as the collector phone calls, they absolutely are required by law to stop those calls. The moment you have sent certified mail, our first letter, warning them that they are to cease telephonic communications and put it in writing. From that point on, if they call you again, you can collect up to $500 to $1,000 per call in court. And we provide a whole free bonus system that you don't even have to pay for. It comes automatically with your debt elimination system on how to do that.
And
it's fun, though. I would say put a smile on your face. If you're thinking about this, put a smile on your face. Don't think of it as stress. Think of it as this is a huge celebration. It is a party. It is a game. It is fun because now you are in tune with God. You're in tune with the central sun of this universe. You are a blessing to this planet because you are now becoming a channel through which the new paradigm that is divinely ordained is now being manifest, and you are following the proven steps of success, of strength, invincibility, and victory, and see it as a celebration. See it as something that, oh my God, I'm now joining a method of helping to create the golden age in commerce in a way that is actually winning. And it is virtually predictable that there will be a win if I follow these steps. So instead of seeing it as stress, see it as this is a much easier way to go than paying all that tribute that I was paying in the past. You know?
Yes, we agree. But I have a question. As far as support, then. So let's say I have a debt that I want to get rid of, and I've sent out 5 letters, and I keep getting all of these stressful calls. And I understand where you're coming from, see it differently, and then you're able to handle that. But is there someone there who might be able to hold my hand if I need that?
Absolutely. We're there 24/7. We have a robust ticket system. It's our email ticket system, and that's the preferred way because then you have a written record. But if absolutely necessary, we can provide assistance by phone as well. You just send your phone number, say, I need a phone call because I don't use the keyboard very well or have intermittent access to the Internet or, don't like computers or something. We can communicate by phone as well. So, yeah. We're absolutely there for everybody and always have been. As a matter of fact, we've had a lot of praise of our customer service people because of that. So,
all right. Very good. And what about mortgages?
Mortgages, that's a whole other department, and they're running the same scam in terms of creating money out of thin air and keeping all of the money. However, they police that with a whole lot more force. And we prefer to provide systems that succeed, that work. If you have a mortgage and you are educated that you're paying tribute to a criminal organization by paying on the mortgage, which is the truth, write to us. We can send you information on some companies that we're not affiliates with. We don't get any fees. We don't get any referrals or any commissions. But just as a favor, we can refer you to some that we've heard good things about. And generally it will cost in the thousands because you'll have to do securitization audits. You'll have to have attorneys involved. It's a lot more involved. You have to go to court usually. You can succeed, though, in defeating mortgages if you use the right firms. A warning, though, is that there are very few that have high success rates. Very few.
Okay. All right. Well, Thompson, why don't I do this? I can go ahead and open the lines up. So I would like those of you who already have your hands up to press 1 again and remove yourself right now. I know where you are. Remove your questions for Zorra, and I'd like to see the hands up for Thompson so that we can have some of those questions answered. So I will go ahead and let's see. All right, Thompson, let me go ahead and see if we have some callers here. Hello, is this? Do you have a question for Thompson? Hello? You're on the line. This is 706 ending in 6166. Do you have a question for Thompson?
Hello? Yes.
All right.
Hello?
You have a question for Thompson? Yes?
Yes, I do. I would like to know, this is in reference to your trust, the Natural Trust, and the GCR. I have no income right now, living with a niece, blah, blah, blah. But when I go to the exchange center, can I opt to place money into the natural trust, or does it have to be an existing trust that the bank offers?
Oh, good question. So first of all, the trusts are ideal for those holding the foreign currencies expected to be revalued, and most people expect there to be no income tax after the GCR has gone public, especially a capital gains tax on the exchange, because, and I'll get to your question, I'm just filling in a few other things for everybody else, so hold on. The initial advantage of putting it into the trust is for that reason, to absolutely ensure that there is no possibility of any individual assessment of capital gains tax on the exchange, because it would be a huge amount of money. So in case the IRS is still in business, and in case they are still doing individual assessments, and in case they don't honor it as a currency exchange, but rather as an investment, and they try to claim, oh, you made an investment with a big return, you owe capital gains on it, you can say, sorry, it was transferred into an exempt entity prior to the RV. And they'll say, prove it. You then produce not the whole trust, but a few pages from it. We'll share that with you. And a notarized document of exchange of currency to the trust. The reason for the notary is to prove by a public official the date of the transfer prior to the revaluation. And as long as it's prior to the revaluation, there can be no gain, because the gain that occurred happened after the RV, after it was already in the exempt entity. So that absolutely prevents any possibility of assessment of income tax. But the other benefits, of course, are for posterity, for administration, for distribution of assets, for organization, and estate planning, and so on and so on and so on. If you look at our website, again, brillianceincommerce.com/Zorra, you will see there the Natural Law Trust, and you'll see all the benefits. Now, for those who don't have the funds, it's $2,500 one-time lifetime fee to set it up. We do have the option of a 10% down payment, $250, which gets you the trust set up. It is not yet activated, and it's not yet able to open a bank account, but it's at least almost done. It has your name on it. It has the trust name. It has the EIN or whatever country you're in, the ID number, that gives it the number it needs to have a bank account. The trust officer is assigned. So most of the work is done. Then when the RV happens, if you need access to it quickly, you would have it basically ready within about 1 day. And the advantage to that is you can have your exchange funds. Let's say there are 2 or 3 ways you could do this. You could say, okay, let's say you've got $100 million coming to you. Well, you can say, will you please just put $10,000 into my personal account, and I'll give you the information of where to send the rest in a day or 2. They put $10,000 in your account. You pay the difference between $250 and $2,500, which is $2,250, to activate the trust. Then get its bank account opened, which usually takes another day. Then give the exchange paymaster that banking coordinate, and they can deposit the rest of your exchange funds into the trust. Another way you can do it is have a friend hold your exchange funds until you have your trust bank account ready. Or another way is to go ahead and have the entire amount put into your personal name and then transferred into the trust afterwards if you're not concerned about taxation. In many cases, they will have already taken the tax off the top to the Treasury before they even distribute the entire pool to everybody. So it's not an individual assessment. In that case, no trust, no entity on the planet would prevent that, because it would be off the paymaster's pool before it's even distributed to each individual. But that's how it would work for being prepared. And does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye. Oh, and hello, everyone.
Okay.
And I'll go back to Zorro because I have a question for you.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put you. So you can go ahead in a short while. You can go. Well, you can go ahead and do that now, and we know that where you are. Okay. All right. Let me open up this individual at 803, ending in 1355. Do you have a question? Do you have a question for?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi. How are you?
Excellent. Nice to hear from you.
Good.
Tell us who you are and where you're calling from.
This is Shirley, and I'm calling from Florida right now.
Wonderful. Where it's even cooler than most people expected.
Yes. Yes. I need that email address again, but before I get that, I just wanted to make a couple of statements and see if you agree. I know that after the Republic is announced, that we will be debt-free. There will be no more debt. And also, there will be no EIN number that will be connected because that's under the statutory law. Under the common law, there will be no EIN number connected to our trust. And also, there will be no taxes, nothing other than paying taxes for new items of that sort under the Republic. But before then, yes, because we're still under this existing law. So we have to abide by the law. Rather, we are running under both laws because common law is also in existence now, but it's not known to the public. But when it does be announced, then that's when we know that we're under the gold standard, under the Republic. So what we're doing now, as far as our debt is concerned, is what you are offering, correct? Under this existing law.
May I give you a brief response to what you've said thus far and then let you finish?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Okay. So you were asking for, it's not an email address, it's a website address.
Okay.
So just write down Brilliance, BrillianceIncommerce.com. So that's brillianceincommerce.com /ZARAYA.
Okay.
And in answer to what you were saying, yes. But, sweetheart, you have to understand, many of us have been waiting since the 1970s.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one of my teachers inaugurating the dawn of the Age of Enlightenment in 1975. And it's a big window of time. We're talking centuries, millennia. So we're still in the window. And then in the year 2000, I was tuning into the oneness. You know, many of you may have read the Dove of Oneness reports about Nasara. And so it's like 2017 now, 17 years later, we're still waiting for the Republic to go public, you know.
Right.
And yes, it will eliminate debts, it will eliminate taxes, it will establish peace, it will, you know. So yes, in the meantime...
In the
meantime, you know, until then, families are drowning in debt and people are not being protected. And so these are things which I very much look forward to retiring from this work and getting on with my music and art and everything, you know. But in the meantime, it's kind of like being drafted into putting out a forest fire when you're not a professional firefighter, you know.
Right.
But the divine has given us many gifts and many solutions, and we should make use of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just hoping and praying that, our beloved Zorra is his last call we were on saying that they're looking for it to happen between now and the inauguration. So I'm really, really praying that's the case so that we can all be free and have the abundance of not just wealth but health and everything else.
Yes. Well, this is one of our ways of helping. There are, as you know, white knights and ascended masters and ground crew and all kinds of good people doing their level best to bring it about as fast as possible. And so we send our salute, our prayers, and our support, our light, and our love to all of the people on the front lines who are helping to make it happen. Many lives have been lost. Many fortunes have been lost in the process. It's been a war. And so we support them and salute them and everything they're doing to help bring it about. And one of the ways we can help is by helping to pave the way by sending these dispute letters to the institutions and challenging the debt, and by setting up these trusts and moving our commerce out of the old paradigm and into something that's going to last generation after generation, right on through the golden age,
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, and I'm still hanging on to what Zorra said. So we're all in prayer and hope that will come to fruition, so that we can go on and live a fruitful life.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay, dear. We're going to
thank you.
Go on to the next
thank
call.
You.
All right. I'm going to put you on mute now, and we'll go on to the next person. And the next person is 562-6239. Do you have a question for Tansen? Oh, sorry, I got to turn him on. Got to turn that person on first. Hello. 562-6239. You have a question for Tansen?
Yes, I do. My name is Cynthia Taylor, and I'm under the impression with Nasara that all of our state and federal taxes we've ever paid will be refunded to us because they were founded in fraud, and that the 16th Amendment was never ratified. So if we were to be taxed for any gains from our exchange, wouldn't that be refunded also?
It should be, absolutely. You bet.
So then we don't need to get the trust you're offering us because Nasara would change all of that, correct?
In a way, you've got a point there, is that very hopefully that the protection from tax will no longer be one of the reasons for having the trust, but there are many other reasons, as I was stating earlier. One of the exchange groups, and maybe some of the others as well, require they actually use the words non-statutory, which is exactly what our trust is. We heard, now this may have changed, but a few months ago, Wells Fargo, from some of their Chinese arrangements for the exchange, were requiring that the exchange client have a non-statutory trust into which to deposit the funds. So that's one reason. Other reasons include the fact that you want an efficient mechanism for distribution of the proceeds to the various members of your family, maybe your business or organization or whatever. And then you want efficient and professional organized estate planning. So when you start working with a wealth manager, you show him one of our trusts, he'll be very impressed.
I get a Social Security. Yeah, I get a Social Security deposit on the 18th. I'm retired, and I have a pension, a Social Security check. I could call in your company and use, I guess, my credit card to charge for the $250 to get things started on the 18th?
Yes.
I could do it that way?
I manage my mother's estate. She's 91, and her pension and Social Security also get deposited into one of these trusts. It's a family trust that we manage.
Okay, because I'm in a credit union, and I have a line of credit with them, and I have a $6,000 worth of credit, and I've used everything but like $175. So I'd like to pay that off, unless that's illegal. Is that money out of thin air? Is that one of those that I could?
Yes, it is. And I know people think that credit unions are a little more ethical and all of that, but they're still doing the same thing. In most cases, they're not loaning. They pretend to loan out the members' money. But in fact, we're finding out that they're doing the same thing under the Fed. There's the same mandrake mechanism.
So if I were to open up a trust with you, how would I transfer my deposits for my Social Security and my pension check to the trust? How would I do that?
You just send them the new wire instructions, because it's all done electronically these days.
Okay, so I guess I'll start off on the 18th and just call you guys and send the $250 that way and then get started from there, huh?
If you wish, yes. And then once you're set up with the trust, and give it any name you want, give it a spiritual name, whatever appeals to you, you'll have your first stage of setup done. And then when you have greater funds from whatever source, the RV or whatever, then you can have the trust fully paid for and activated, and then you'll have a superior entity through which to manage all of your affairs.
I have Zim and Dong, and I think the Redemption Center, I would tell them at that point, when I redeem to exchange, when I exchange the currency, at that point I would direct them to the new trust I have with you, or would that be when I meet with the wealth manager?
No, that is correct. In fact, the trust you have with us would be the holding entity under which anything else your wealth manager may set up for you would exist.
Right.
Okay.
It would be right at the peak. It would be right at the top, right at the very summit of every other asset protection structure anywhere in the world that you set up would be under.
I like that.
Yes, the Natural Law Trust would be the top. And,
I'm
do you
sorry.
have humanitarian projects you want to fund as well? You have charities?
Well, I have some wonderful ideas. I'm extremely intelligent. I chose not to marry or have children, but my brother had children, so I would like to include my sister-in-law and her children to be recipients of anything down the line in the future to help them out.
Wonderful. So you can either make them successor trustees, or you can make them beneficiaries, and we can work all that out when you get your trust set up. Yeah.
I have some wonderful ideas. And
congratulations.
My most extreme idea is, if things really go to the top, is to do over Haiti. You know, the Clintons really screwed Haiti totally.
That's right.
I think Ty Pennington and the Extreme Makeover team, we could take all the people out of Haiti and actually rebuild that whole island with new homes, with state-of-the-art, wind turbines and solar energy, and just actually redo the whole island and make it a model for the world, because they're the poorest country in the world, aren't they?
It is our responsibility as first world citizens here in the United States. It is our responsibility to help the so-called second and third world countries to get up to speed and get good living situations. Once we have our first distributions, that's the greatest urgency, is to get food and water and housing and all these good things set up as fast as possible. And yes, with the most advanced, sustainable systems.
With that kind of money, put all those people on a cruise ship, or a bunch of them, and actually completely tear down the whole island, put a new roadwork, and set up a free energy manufacturing facility there, and a hospital on the top, and just all new homes with electric cars, and actually redo the whole island. That's my biggest dream. That's a big one. But also the Fred Jordan mission, to buy the whole city block across from the Fred Jordan mission and set up Fred Jordan residences and get all the people off of Skid Row, have them a place to go to. Isn't that a great idea?
One of the masters I studied with, Maharishi, said we should reconstruct the entire world, not just an island here and there, but even the United States, the so-called advanced nations. All the buildings are all the wrong way. They're not built correctly according to natural law. you know?
Oh, Taplow beehives, meadows to reestablish honeybees all over and reforest the United States and restore habitats. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking big. So I would keep your group really busy. you have business planners, right?
Zora, Kalezar, isn't it wonderful the kind of people we have on the line? These are just fabulous light beings who are co-creating.
They certainly are.
Yes.
I'm an incarnated angelic cherubim.
Beautiful.
Hello? I'm an angel. I was told this by Edgar Casey. I'm one of 144,000 angelic cherubim on the planet right now. We're all here.
Yes, you are. We are one. There is a oneness here. That is so beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you for saying so. Yes.
Thanks, and thank you, beloved, for sharing all of that. I'm going to have to put you on mute here. And Thompson, I think we need to go on to the next speaker.
Yes.
Thank you.
People don't have that. Thank you. People do not have the phone number that they can access if they're having trouble with the email. I was wondering if you could let people know what that is.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
And then
it has a 360 area code. I'll just get it here. 360. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for people that find brillianceincommerce.com/Zorra because they don't have access to the internet or their computer or whatever, our phone number is 360-200-7521. So that's 360-200-7521, and say you were referred by Hollow Earth Network.
And for those who's
Zorra
of Hollow Earth.
Zorra of Hollow Earth, yes.
Right, thank you. And so for all of you who were not able to speak with Thompson, they could either email you or they could call. Is that correct?
Yes, the email is through our Contact Us. So you just click on Contact Us. And, I didn't say that if you wanted to be an affiliate with us, where to click on that. So that you would click on More. It says More up on the menu on the upper right of the home page. So click on More, and then on that drop-down menu, it says Affiliates. Then you click on that and then fill in. It takes about 5 minutes to fill that in and submit it, and you'll be with us.
Fantastic. Thompson, you are fantastic.
You are too. Thank you so much.
For all of our people, and we thank you for being on our call today. So much
I bow
love
at the feet of everyone who is present.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much, Thompson. All right, I'm going to put Thompson now on mute, and we will go ahead and bring on our beloved, I think I'm going to find him right over here, our beloved One Who Believes. He has been One Who Believes has been very, very busy with so many messages to help all of us. I hope many of you are going to be able to at least read some of his postings that are on inteldenarchronicles.com. Is that right?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So, Zorra, did you have any words to say to our beloved One Who Believes before he starts with his message for today?
I'm waiting for your messages of inspiration.
I think that means take it away.
Okay. Well, regarding the RV, I wanted to start out by talking about the trust really quick. And that is that virtually everyone who has currency and is going to be going to a exchange center, you're going to have a trust. Because otherwise, if your money's in a personal account just in your name, it's vulnerable. If you get in an accident, somebody slips on your property, whatever, you're going to get sued. And so, frankly, you're going to be required to have a trust at the bank, at the exchange center. But if you don't have one when you get there, they're going to set up a temporary trust to hold your money, and then it's going to be up to you when you get your wealth manager or you talk with Thompson about his trust there to set up a trust that's got all the bells and whistles and does all the things you want it to do, and it's got the beneficiaries and who's in charge and what it does, and that's more complex and a little bit of setting up. So you're going to be setting up one of those, and then you're going to take the money that's in the temporary, what they call a skeleton trust, and then you're going to drop it in the trust that's filled out exactly as you want it. And by the way, you're probably going to have a lot of trusts. You're probably going to have a trust for the house. You're probably going to have a trust for expensive cars if you have them, or different projects. So if anything happens in the house, then the only thing that's at risk is whatever's in that trust, and that would be the house or the car or whatever it may be. So you're probably going to have a master trust. And, of course, you'll have to check with your financial advisors on this. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm giving you what I'm going to be doing. You have your master balloon or bubble, and then within that you'll have several others with other major items on there. That way everything's protected within its own little bubble. So you're going to have a trust, and you're going to walk out of the exchange center with either a trust you already set up before you went there, or a temporary one that was set up for you while you were there. And if you get a temporary one set up, you're going to be getting another trust, whether you get it from the wealth manager or you get it from our guest here. Doesn't matter, but you are going to be using trust, and so you are going to need one. So anyway, I just want to point that out. Okay, are we
Thank
still
you,
there?
beloved.
Oh, you're
we
welcome.
certainly are. We're waiting.
Yeah. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about today is I'm not going to talk about being fearless, ultra-confident, unstoppable, now that the other recording has become available. Today I'm going to talk about your past. Because the past is changeable, and your memory is part of the past. And what I want you to realize is that your memory is not designed to be a perfectly accurate record. That's what the Akashic records are for. Your memory is designed to serve you and to serve the now. So to give you an example about that, when you're feeling really good about things and really happy, if you think about it, when you think about things that happened in the past, you remember the good times. But when you're feeling particularly down or upset and you think about the past, you remember the bad times, because whatever the resonance, whatever the vibration is in the present moment, it elicits from your memory the specific items that match it, in the same way as it elicits specific items in your present that you match or that you see. So you're basically recalling from the past the items that match the now. Some events may seem like they were bad if you're not feeling well in the moment, or if you're really happy in the moment, they may turn out to be good. That was a learning experience. So you have to realize your past is serving you. Now, there are memories in the past that have gone dormant. It's like, the first day you rode your tricycle, or the first day you tasted ice cream, or whatever. There's a lot of things that you don't remember now, and you can tell what they are, because sometimes you'll be talking with family and they'll say, "Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot that I even ever did that." And the reason why is that memory has gone dormant, and when it goes dormant, it's no longer vibrating, and if it's not vibrating, it's not contributing to your now. It's not creating your future. But everything that you can remember, currently is still vibrating and still contributing to not only your present, but your future. Now, remember that facts only describe the present. They only describe the moment. They have no potential. The thing that describes the future is meaning. So whatever the facts are, it's what they mean that creates what's meant to be and creates the future. And let's say the facts are that you lost your job. Well, that's just the facts. We don't know what that becomes. The only way we can tell what that becomes is based on meaning. What does that mean? Does that mean it's lost and failure and things aren't working out and it's all going wrong now? Or does that mean you're going to be getting a better job? Because if it means that things are working out, that must mean you're going to be getting a better job. You're going to find a better job, because it's meaning that creates the future. The facts are just a description of the moment. We never, ever worry about changing the facts. We don't care about the facts. Whatever the facts are, guess what? It's working out. Whatever it looks like right now, it turns out it's just the right thing to get what we want. Now, the thing that's interesting about that is that if in the present we never worry about changing the facts, we just start from whatever they are. It's like the doctor with that story I told you about the cancer. It's like, Doc, we don't have the miracle drug. No problem. What do you got? Water? Let's use the water. You don't have water? Okay. Repeat after me. 5, 4, 3. Just kidding. So anyway, so it doesn't matter what you got. If you got water, that's all you need to cure cancer, because it's the meaning that cures the cancer. So if we never change the facts in the present in order to create our future, then when you think about the past, if you think about it, the only thing you can't change in the past are the facts. Change them anyway. And the only thing we ever change in the present to create reality is what the facts mean. Then if you think about it, you realize that the one thing you still can change in the past is the meaning. So you can literally change your past by going back to the time that you moved and you thought it was a bad idea and it was the wrong thing. You can go back and say, you know what? It turns out that was the best thing I could do. Because the minute you change the meaning, then it retroactively cascades into the present. Now that memory is now supporting your present and supporting the future. So everything that's ever seemed to have gone wrong in your past, you need to go back to those facts and give those facts a working out meaning. To show you how powerful that is, that same guy we talked about before, they got the injection of water that cured him of stage 4 cancer. At some point down the road, I think it might have been a couple years, he was reading an article about that special medicine, which I believe was cabriacin. And he read the article and he realized that, according to the article, that medicine turned out to be no good. It wasn't worth anything. It never cured anybody. Well, remember, then in the moment, he's cancer. And the reason he's cancer-free is because that shot, which was the facts, back 2 years ago, when he got the injection, was a miracle drug and would cure him. And here he is in the present, and he says, hold it. If that drug was no good, then I must not have been cured. So what he literally did is he went back in the past to that set of facts. He didn't change the facts. He still got the injection. He just changed what it meant. It means that didn't cure me. And the minute he changed that meaning retroactively in his mind that he wasn't really cured, he died 2 days later. So he went from cancer-free to dying 2 days later because he changed the meaning in the past from something that was working out to now something that's not working out. You can do the same thing by going back in the past and changing something that wasn't working out and decide that it was. Because since we live in duality, there's no set of facts that absolutely work out or absolutely don't. They're only facts. Only you can decide whether they're working out or not working out. And so you have as much right to go back in your past and change the meanings of those events to working out as you do to changing the meanings of your current events in the now to working out. Because they become retroactively good. Now, to show you how important this is, if you remember back in the day, Napoleon Hill. He used to have a saying that was like something like, when you change that a bad event has as much potential to become as great a good event or even better, something like that. And so what that means is, see, events have an energy, and the energy is equal to the amount of thought that's given to them. So if you broke a pencil back in the day and didn't work out, and you say, oh, it turns out that was working out, there's not much energy in that event. But if you had a big move or a divorce or something traumatic, there's a lot of energy there. So the amount of energy that's now on the not working out side, if you decide it's working out, you've changed the polarity of that event to working out. So as bad as it was, it's that good. you've changed it to that amount of energy to the good side. Just like that guy who went back with the cancer, the fact that he was working out, that was huge. That meant a lot. That was life and death. It was huge. It was so big that when he changed it to the bad, meaning that it wasn't really a miracle drug, it killed him in 2 days. Now, can you imagine if you have a bad event in the past, something somebody said to you, a big breakup or problem with your parents or who knows, whatever it is that's bothering you, that's still in your past, that's still in your memory, you could go back and decide that that was working out. No matter if you can figure out how or not, it doesn't matter if you can figure it out, because eventually you'll realize how it was working out. Because remember, hindsight, once you change the meaning, you'll say things like, hey, you know what? If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have met this person, I wouldn't have moved here, I wouldn't have learned that, blah, 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 and I wouldn't be in this most ideal place I'm at right now. In fact, to show you how good your past was, I'm going to ask you 2 questions. Question number 1, considering everything, would you say that things have never been better for you than they are right now? And think about that. We're on the verge of a new world. You are sitting there, most likely holding currency in your pocket. And I ask you, would you say that things have never been better for you than they are right now? And clearly, they never have. And then I ask you, would you say that you have never been more capable than you are right now of getting everything you ever wanted and living the life of your dream than you are right now? And clearly, that's yes, too. Because you're on the verge of having everything you need to buy whatever you want. Not only that, but look at the insight and the enlightenment you have. Never have you been more capable of getting everything you ever wanted and living the life of your dreams than you are right now. And never has life been better for you. Never have you been in a better position in life than you are right now. And if the answer to those 2 questions is yes, they have never been better. I've never been in a better position than I am now. Never been more capable than I am right now. That means that you're living your best days right now. It's never been better for you. These are the best days of your life. And whatever it was that happened in the past that brought you to this place, it couldn't have happened more perfectly. Because had that thing in the past, whatever it is, if it had worked out, maybe you would have had a honky-dory life, and maybe you'd be somewhere else having some kind of a corporate job, and you wouldn't even know this was going on. You wouldn't even have this enlightenment. You wouldn't have been looking for it. You wouldn't have been holding currency because life would be good. You wouldn't need it. All the things that ever happened to you brought you to this ideal place that has never been better for you, never been more capable for you than it is right now. These are the best days of your life, but this is the thing. It's going to be like that from now on, because if I ask you a week from now, and I ask you a month from now, and I ask you a year or 10 years from now, and I say to you, have things ever been better for you than they are right now? You're going to say no, because they're always going to be better. And have you been any more capable than you are now to get everything you ever wanted and live the life of your dreams? And the answer, of course, is going to be no, because you become more capable every day. So that means that from now on, starting right now, you are living in the best days of your life. They have never been better for you. You have never been in a better position than you are right now. You have never been more capable of getting everything you want and living the life of your dreams than you are right now. These are your best days. Recognize that. Accept that. Bask in that. Because these are great days indeed.
Indeed.
That's my message.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Yes, absolutely. And that is so true. And so now we have our beloved Zorra. Thank you, beloved one who believes, for that very inspiring, again, wonderful message for all of us to bring into our hearts and really digest those words. This is the best time of your life. You can make it that way. Okay. All right, Zorra. It's yours. You're on the floor now. There you go. And you know exactly what's we got all kinds of things going on, Zorra. I'm going to put you on mute for a little bit there, one who believes.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Zorra. All yours.
Indeed. Beloved masters, there's much going on behind the scenes in your political area. You have what is termed as Donald Trump, and he is making what is called waves in Washington. And of course, the waves are what is termed questionable as to what he's doing. But what was also termed, he had a meeting the other day between Prime Creator, myself, and Sananda. And what was discussed was his role and what he's doing. And he is still preparing the way for the interim president. And he knows what role he is to play. And he has accepted it as to what the role he is going to play. Now, as I said before, even if what is called Donald Trump goes into office, he will not be there for long. Because there will be another, what is called election, 120 days past the inauguration. And what is decided there? Your real new president will be nominated by what is termed as a new republic, a new election, a president voted into by the people this time, not by electoral, not by what is called ballots, but by the people. They will, and that new president will not be in any way, shape, or form a member of the corporation, because the corporation is at an end. Very shortly, you're going to begin hearing what is called utterings, speaking more publicly about the coming, what is called republic, and less about the corporation. And that is what you are wondering. Also, the GCR, Nasara, all of that was discussed too. And that was on the forefront, if you will, and on the minds of many. And people had asked what is termed, Trump in particular, of Prime Creator, as to the issue of free will. And when she was asked by Trump about the removal of said free will, Prime Creator stated, "Not yet." The time is not yet.
But it's going to happen.
But it is going to happen. And that will, what is do what is termed as herald in what will be termed as Nasara, and also what is termed the GCR, and what is termed as freedom for all of the United States, as well as all of the southern countries as well.
Does that mean the Republic will be in place then?
That is what they were speaking of. They were discussing that at the meeting, yes.
That the Republic would be in place before that?
Hmm?
The Republic will be in place before that?
That is what is being termed as the Prime Creator and Sananda, and Prime Creator and myself come to the conclusion that that's when it should be coming about.
The new Republic, along with Nassau, GCR,
yes,
etc., will be happening simultaneously?
Simultaneously. Indeed. One after the other.
That's quite fast, quite rapid.
Indeed.
All right. So if I can ask, the removal of the free will will be at that point then, or will that happen before, you think?
Well, we can. I am not going to.
No, I'm not asking.
Set forth a date.
No, I'm not asking for any date at all. I'm just asking as far as the sequence of events.
Yes.
So that free will, when that's removed, then the RV comes about. And then
Nasara, then Republic.
Okay, so all of those will be coming in quick succession.
Yes, well, the announcement of the new Republic will come after those two go.
After the RV?
Indeed.
And the
Nasara,
and then the Republic.
Indeed.
The new Republic. As far as any announcements, are there going to be any announcements made publicly in regards to even the Republic or Nasara?
Well, it would have to come out.
Right.
As an announcement.
Yeah, but who's going to be doing that? Do you know? Or have an idea who?
Not at this time.
Not at this time. Okay.
It is being debated as to whom.
So
entity.
Yes. Now we know that there's something of we're in this period of intense energies on our planet right now. Anything that has to change, if it's going to change, it should happen now.
Indeed. In regards to what is termed the date that was set for the 14th.
Yes.
That is what is called controversy going on around that. As to whether it is what is called a deadline or what is called or the beginning of an event, or whether it is going to be a separation or what is called a joining. There has been much speculation as to what that is all about. And picking sides, as it is so termed.
Light versus
dark.
Mm-hmm.
And of course we pick the side of the light.
So what could you tell us about that date then, Zorra?
That date should bring about what would be termed as much more what is called intense light and energy coming upon the earth, and also what is termed as the moving forward, getting ready for what is called the announcements and things of that nature. The 14th is a date, and as many know, dates come and go. And of course, this one will come as it is foretold, and it will go as well. But what transpires on that date a high, intense energy. Stronger than what's hitting the earth now. and focused on what is called all of the countries throughout the world to bring about an enlightenment, a more, what is called more revealing of the light rather than the darkness. That is what it will bring about. More light rather than darkness. More enlightenment rather than being in a fog as you are now.
Any particular events can you see that is supposed
that I can say?
Yeah, that you could. But did you see?
That we see, yes. That we can say, no.
On that particular day.
Indeed.
So there will be events on that day that you cannot say.
Yes, that is so.
Okay, so this is like a cliffhanger.
It is a cliffhanger. It is a cliffhanger, yes.
Okay, Zorra. Well, I'm going to ask one who believes. I'm going to have you on the call right now because one who believes, and the reason I was going to ask one who believes this question regarding the 14th is because he knows of some events supposedly to occur at that time, and maybe he would be the better individual to ask the questions regarding that. One who believes, from your sources, what kind of information were you receiving about that date?
Well, we understand, of course, that that's the peak date for this new set of energies, which started yesterday, I believe, on the 11th. And it has been said that specifically free will will be removed on that date. And from what I understand from you, Zorra, is that no specific date has been set regarding free will specifically. What you've said here so far that I've heard you say is that that'll be the date of the highest energies, which we've heard. But I haven't heard you say that that's the date specifically that free will be removed. And a lot of people are wondering about that specifically.
I cannot give you what is termed as an exact date as to when that will take place. That is solely on Prime Creator.
Right. And so the free will removal is primarily tied with the starting of the GCR and possibly NASARA. And so that whenever that happens, that's the time that the free will happen, the free will event.
Yes, to allow the GCR to occur.
And so, again, we don't have a specific date on when that's going to happen. So people, some are saying that specifically it happens on the 14th, but at this point, all we know about the 14th for sure is that there's going to be very high energies at that time.
Indeed. That's for sure.
Just wanted to clear that up. And by the way, let me just ask this question. There will be a time of very high energies on the 14th. What would be a good way, a good state of mind, or a good way to really take advantage of those high energies at that time to really get the most out of them? What would your thoughts on that be? In other words, meditation? Okay.
And being out in nature.
And being out in nature. Be out in nature and in meditation during that time.
Either or both.
Either or both.
Indeed.
Of course.
Yeah, that seems like quite an opportunity to catapult.
I'm sorry?
Again?
I said that would be a great time to catapult consciousness and awareness and enlightenment to be able to ride that wave, per se, to get the most out of it. And that's what I'm interested in, is what I can do to really, really get the most out of that energy while it's at its highest peak. And your answer, of course, is meditation and being in nature.
Of course.
Might be a good day to go to the park and
that too. And be in joy, of course. Mm-hmm. My beloved Soraya has some words as well.
Do I?
You do. You always do.
Beloved ones, as you are entering, or you are already in these high energy waves of creation, as a beloved one who believes, it is time to take time for yourself as you begin to go within to understand more about all of these illusions that you have been caught in. It is time for you to let go. This is why it is time for you to make your decision. Time for you to say no more to illusions that bring your vibration down. It is time for you to bring your vibrations high, much higher than they are already, so that you can become more fully conscious of who you are. It is time for you to take a leap. This leap is your leap of quantum leap. This is good. A quantum leap into the new paradigm of who you are, because that is going to change the future forever, at least, or for you people, for you, beloved ones, for the next few years. Make it the most fabulous years of your life, beginning now as you move forward into that state of pure abundance, pure love, pure peace, pure joy,
and pure disclosure,
which you will be sharing with the entire world, with all the many projects that you have. You can't be other than loved in order to share. Then you will bring forth disclosure, undoubtedly.
Indeed.
And so, I have to change places.
You need to switch back.
I do.
Back to crazy.
Okay, folks. In regards to questions, I have a couple of questions for Zorra. One of the questions having to do with the WikiLeaks individual. I forget his first name, but we call him Assange. And many have wondered whether or not he was still in existence here. Zorra, is he alive and well? And maybe you could tell us a little bit about him.
He is under protection. So that says he's alive. Yes. And he is under protection. So, many have said he has passed away or ascended. Well, we have not gotten that memo yet.
One who believes. On the political side, do you have any questions you want to ask of Zorra for the public before I open up the lines?
Sure. What I'm getting from what Zorra said so far today, because we were led to believe that Ryan would be the president. And, of course, what we're seeing in the public eye is the show, which is Trump, if he gets sworn in, he'll be sworn in as the president of the old shell, USA Inc., which no longer has an actual structure. It's just a shell and a show that we're watching. We were led to believe that he wouldn't get to that point, but now I'm beginning to think, from what I heard now, that perhaps he will continue the show all the way through inauguration, perhaps, until there is an election. Am I reading that right?
Well, understand that what is called the election of the new what is called president. Understand, when he gets elected, he is being inaugurated where? In the District of Columbia, the jurisdiction of the United States.
That's the United States Inc.,
meaning
the corporation. Yeah.
Incorporated.
Right.
So he is not the president of all 50 states or 51 states. He is only the president of the District of Columbia and United States of America, Inc.
Okay.
Not the United States.
And so?
Right. So I call that the show. That's the show.
Yeah,
so
the show.
Yeah. So do you think that? Yeah. Do you think that show will continue until we get an election in 120 days to get the president for the republic, or do you think that show will end and we'll actually hear about who's actually president of the republic, or is that still up in the air?
It is up in the air, but there will be what is called hearsay going on in Washington, rumors and things of that nature about who is to be the next, the actual president of the Republic of the United States.
And also, since we know that the people who will be running for the real president job of the real republic, that the election will be in 120 days, and that'll be an actual election, electing a real president, we know that those who will be running for that have already been sanctioned or pre-qualified by the benevolent powers that be already. We just don't know who they are yet that'll be running. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So you don't have any thoughts on who already is in place for those positions?
No.
No. Okay.
It's not my place to say.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, they're probably not gonna reveal that until they reveal that there's gonna be an election. And
Until
then they'll
that
reveal
time.
who they,
Got it.
Yeah. Because that would
Okay.
completely undermine the show and undermine everything else that's going on. That there's candidates. It's like, what are they good? What are they candidates for? What's that about? How is it we have candidates?
Well, when
that.
what comes about, known as the Republic announcement of the Republic, then at that point they will proclaim that the President Trump is what is termed a facade, is what is termed as a false office, if you will, is what is termed as a, what is the term? They will bring out, the Republic will bring out the realization of the actuality of the United States of America being a corporation and not a republic.
And that we actually have a republic, and then they'll give instructions about how we're going to have an election again, but this time it's going to be real. And then these are the people. Then they'll announce the candidates that are running, and they'll set up the structure and all that. They'll give all that information at that point.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, one who believes, I'm going to put you back on
mute.
And mute, so that we can go ahead and all of you, where we will go ahead, and even though it's going to be off very soon, we will continue with the questions that people have. All right? Okay. So.
And also.
Go ahead.
Am I still on? Yeah, I just want to say
yes.
For the people that may get cut off right now, there will be a replay, and so whatever they don't hear now, they'll get to catch up on the replay, in case they get kicked off.
Exactly.
Indeed.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I think they know. All right. So I'm going to go
Okay.
ahead and mute you for now, and we're going to go ahead with question number 1. And don't worry about those 10 seconds. So, right. So, person who is at 469-7453, and you are now on with Zorra.
Hello?
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 Just tell us your name and where you're calling from, dear.
Hi, yes, this is Drayton, and I'm calling from Texas. But I wish I was in Sedona. Yeah, I don't like it in Texas very much. But
and why is
hello,
that?
Zorra. I don't know. I just think the people here in Texas are still acting like the old days with the cowboys and Indians or something. Yes.
And you have a question for Zorra?
Yes, Quasar, I do.
And what is your question?
My question is, well, I'm an interesting case. I'm 38 years old, and I was born in the former Yugoslavia, and I was brought to Chicago when I was 7 months old. And I grew up there, and so about the age of 16, we moved to Texas. But I was never I was never allowed to have my citizenship, and till this day, even though I passed the citizenship test in 2005, they still refused me. So I'm considered an alien, a resident alien, and I think there's something fishy there. But anyway, what I want to ask about is my whole life I've had a mental learning disability, and I never was able to process information, and it's caused me to drop out of school at a very, very early age. And even though I'm already 38, I don't have a diploma, or I don't have. It's very hard for me to find a job. I'm unemployed. And I was wondering if there's any type of healing method for that, Zorra.
For your brain?
Yes, because I have a problem with processing information. I can't learn. I mean, my mind is almost like a child's mind.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what a blessing that is.
It could be a blessing.
Yes, to have the mind of a child.
Idea.
That is a blessing.
Oh, and by the way, I would just like to say that I'm wearing the Hollow Earth headband, and I've had it for a while.
Indeed.
And ever since I've gotten it, it has helped me a lot, and it's given me more hope and more faith, and my beliefs have opened up. So.
And it has given you more focus.
Yes, but I still am sort of cut off. I feel like my whole life I've been like a hidden identity or something. Like my life has been hijacked, you know?
I see. Well, I want you to do is rub your hands together and place both hands over your heart mind.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to count from 5 to 1. You're going to count from 5 to 1. And then you're going to say, I receive.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Receive.
2, 1. I receive.
From the God of my being.
From the God of my being.
My mind is restored. My focus is intent.
My mind is restored, and my focus is intent.
And my childish mind is now developing into an adult mind.
My child's mind is developing into an adult's mind.
And I know it.
And I know it.
Now, keep your hands there for 2 minutes. We will time you.
I haven't.
All right. And after 2 minutes, then I want you to rub your hands together and place them on either side of your head, next to above your ears, and on either side of your what is called vault of knowledge. But do this after the 2 minute time.
Okay.
Do you feel the warmth entering your heart mind?
Yes, I do.
Very good.
It's almost a minute, sir.
Indeed.
One more minute to go.
A minute to go.
His hands should be getting warmer.
His hands and yes, and his heart as well.
Indeed.
Getting warmer?
Yes.
Indeed.
$30 seconds left.
30 seconds left on your second minute.
Okay.
Ten seconds left on your second minute. All right, now rub your hands together and place one above each ear.
Okay.
And we repeat the process. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, receive.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I receive.
From the God of my being.
From the God of my being.
My mind is adult.
My mind is adult.
And my mind is focused. And normal.
My mind is focused.
And normal.
And normal.
And I know it.
And I know it.
Now keep your hands there for 2 minutes.
Okay.
Well, you have a minute to go. How are you feeling with your head?
It feels better. My headache went away. I had a headache.
Indeed. A minute to go.
Probably 30 seconds, sir.
30 seconds to go.
Okay.
10 seconds to go. Indeed. Now take your hands away. Now how do you feel?
I feel my head feels light. I feel good. I feel like something has been pulled out of my head.
Indeed, a block.
Thank you, Zorra.
Indeed.
I would like to say something else.
Go ahead.
I am a big fan of Zorra also, and I have watched his videos in the past on Search Reality Truth channel about his past in the military and his story of the Hollow Earth. And if anyone hasn't watched it, I suggest to you people who are listening that you should look into it because it's a very beautiful story to hear. And I also want to say Zorra, Quasar, Richard, Kent Dunn, and Gary Larrabee, I want to say I love you very much, and I love all of you humanity, and I just wish for everyone to be happy, and the homeless to have food, and the sick children to get well, and the needy families who are struggling to get their dreams to become a reality and real. And I wish to really see and get a chance to meet with my brothers and sisters from the stars or from the Hollow Earth, whom I desperately want to see.
And you will.
Thank you. And I love you all.
Indeed.
And I love Mother Gaia, the blue jewel. And I love you, Prime Creator, Father, that's protecting us all.
Thank you so much.
Indeed.
And we're going to go
you.
ahead and put you on mute now, dear, and we'll go on to our next caller. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye, Zorra. I love you all.
Indeed.
All right, our next caller is begins with 207 and it ends in 8950. You are on the air. Hello? 207 ending in 8950.
Here's someone.
Are you there?
Hello?
Yes, you are on the air with Zorra.
Yes, I am, but I didn't have a question. I didn't know that the hand was raised.
Oh, your hand was raised. Okay, that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and put you on mute. We'll go on to the next individual, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All righty, bye-bye.
Indeed.
Okay. Next person is 208 ending in 6612. And I'm going to be opening up your line. Here you are. You're here with Zorra. Who is this and where you're calling from?
Hello, this is Zara Rose. I'm in Boise, Idaho at the moment.
Indeed.
Okay, you've got
And
Zorra with you.
Yes, more than anything, I just wanted to express gratitude for all the years of helping everyone develop and come into their awareness and their awakeness. And I'm so excited, I can't wait until all these things come to pass. I have the wonderment of a child waiting for Christmas.
Beautiful. All right, thank you, dear. We'll go ahead and let you go then.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Next person is starts with 803 and it ends in 1355. You're on the air with Zorra.
Hello, Zara again, and Quasar and Zariah and Richard. Thank you so much for answering me again.
And you and your name and where you're calling from?
This is Shirley from Florida again.
Okay.
And
all right.
Indeed, Master.
I want to ask for your prayers from you all. We lost our home to a fire in South Carolina, and myself, my daughter, and my son-in-law, and my grandbabies. And right now we're living with family members, and we really want to get another place of our own. Not necessarily here in Florida, because I'm not happy here. I was born and raised in Florida, but I'm not happy in Florida. So
Indeed.
I'm just waiting for Prime Creator or my mentor to lead us to where we should be, whether it's back in South Carolina or I always wanted to go to Texas, or I have an older daughter that's in Washington State. So just not sure where he's leading us to go, but we definitely want a place, again, of our own, and desperately in need of one now, because it's family is not like family used to be, and it gets really stressful. So
cool.
Me being a minister.
And where is your desire to be?
Anywhere but Florida. Anywhere but Florida. I'm not happy being, even though I was down further south than where I am now, but it's just that we're calling around trying to find places that's here, but we're not really saying we want to settle. I know I don't. but my daughter and her husband and the kids, we're all on the same wavelength as far as just getting our own again and just being happy. So if you could
Indeed.
send up prayers for us.
Are you in what is termed prepared for the GCR?
Yes, sir. Yes.
And the RV.
And the RV?
Yes. I've even talked to a wealth manager and made myself known to him, and I got his name and phone number. So when it does happen, I'm ready for that. So I just want to, and my husband is incarcerated for something he didn't do, but of course they had, they trumped up charges on him. So I'm waiting on that for him to be released so that I can get on with my life. I'm really ready.
Well, I understand all beings who have been wrongly imprisoned will be released.
Yes.
And so you can look forward to that, of course. I would say, being and you have already made what is called contact with a wealth manager. Where was this at?
Well, it was when I was down in Miami, Florida. But right now I'm up in Orlando.
Indeed.
We're up in Orlando, yes.
Well, understand when this occurs that once you make contact with your wealth manager, he will be more than happy to fly to where you are.
Okay.
So you can also look forward to that. So I would wait for the RV to occur and get your, what is called your alignment done with that. And then I would say Washington State.
Really? Maybe you could tell me.
Wow.
Because Washington State is a beautiful state. It has all the seasons and not so much snow as you would think they would have, but
a lot of rain.
They have a lot of rain, therefore it is a green state for sure. And you would be happy there.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Go for a visit first to see if you like it.
Okay.
Wherever you plan on going, go for a visit a week or two to see if you will like it.
Be there for 3 months.
Or 2 or 3 months, depending. You could go 2 or 3 months if you like.
Okay.
But you could also, once the RV occurs, you could also buy your own air transportation.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Well, that's what we're waiting on.
Okay.
We're waiting, and I'm hoping that will happen soon.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to put you on hold now. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
All right. The next person we have is 706 ending in 6166. And you are on the air with Zorra. Who are you and where are you calling from, dear?
I'm Karen, and I'm calling from Piscataway, New Jersey.
New Jersey?
Yes, I'm in New Jersey. I'm the one staying with my niece. Don't have an income, but it's because God removed me from corporate America, and I'm basically doing what He tells me to do. However, I feel like I'm getting ready to come into my full power. I am that I am, and I am
Indeed.
all of it. I am a pure goddess. My name is Karen Diane. God told me He made me when I was trying to change it. Karen Diane means pure goddess. I am the goddess of love, and I know these things. I am light. I went through a past life regression. I went through a past life regression, and in my steps, they asked where the light. Everything was dark, and I could hear the ocean, but it was pitch black. So she told me to walk, and she asked me if I saw a light, and I saw the light in my footsteps. So I know who I am, but, and I think one who believes has answered the question I have. We have so much energy coming on the planet now, and I am a receiver, and I feel like I'm about to burst, but I would like to step into my full psychic ability, and I don't know how. I was told that I have asthma because I'm not utilizing my full psychic ability, but I don't know how. So my question, and one more thing, yesterday in the 1111 Gateway, the palm of my hand, my left hand, felt like someone was drawing a circle clockwise in the palm of my hand, and it's gone on for like 10, 15 minutes. And I looked at my hand, and I was aware of it, but usually my left hand means money coming in different parts tingle. But this was a circle being drawn in the palm of my hand. I don't know what it is or what it means, but I don't have any guidance. And I know I am powerful, and I know I am a healer. I know all these things, but I feel I don't know how to become all that I am. So that's the question. How do I get there? Especially with these energies that's poured into the planet. And I am a receiver. I ask God to, I am here, I am open, I am ready to receive. Guide me, and I'm waiting. I'm here. And when I'm a web developer, so I'm highly skilled, self-taught, had great jobs, great money that I gave away, and then the job stopped. And I went on interview after interview, and God told me on one of the interviews I was going on, suppose I don't want you to work. And I'm like, what do you mean? I got to work, got to eat. But anyway, I started giving my skills to people who didn't have money, startup companies, and basically gave. So now I'm living on my knees with no income because he has pulled all that away. And I am ready for this GCR. I have everything in place. I have my foundation. My humanitarian project is huge to me, which we all think ours is very big. But mine is is a Value Life Foundation, and it's a training center for the poor, health, and needy. The centers will need to be built around that city in every impoverished city in the United States and duplicated above. But it's a training center. The homeless, poor, health, and needy can live there and train. First training, mandatory training, is law of attraction training, to teach them how to think, to show them how, because of their conditioning, they are the way they are, and to bring them up out of that. And also, they'll have a residence where they can receive the blessings that's coming on them. And the training will center around computer skills, music if they want to, anything they want to get into, but it's a training. It's Value Life training, Value Life Foundation. And that's what I want to do. Of course, I'm building for campus, a building for singles, a building for families, a building for single men, and then the training center. So it has to be built. I have a friend who's an architect I talked to about this, and it can be duplicated in every impoverished city in the United States and then spread out around the world. So that's my project, my humanitarian project. But I'd like to know how to become all that I am here to be. That's my question.
Rub your hands together, beloved brothers.
Yes.
Rub your hands together and place them over your heart mind.
Okay.
Close your eyes. Okay. I'm going to count from 5 to 1. I'm going to say receive. You're going to count from 5 to 1, and you're going to say I receive. Then you're going to say, from the goddess of my being, I request my path to be revealed to me.
Okay.
I request the full openness of my goddess that I am. Indeed?
Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, receive.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I receive from the goddess
of my being.
From the goddess of my being, I request be revealed. I request to be guided on the path that I am to take.
Indeed.
Indeed.
And from the goddess of my being, it is so.
From the goddess of my being, it is settled that I am all that I am, all that is.
Indeed. Now keep your hands there for 2 minutes.
Okay.
Now that you have your eyes closed, you are now able to go deep within yourself to find the answers that you seek, for they are there. And that is all you need to do. Be out in Mother Nature, put your back against a tree, feet flat on the ground, barefoot if preferable.
If allowable.
If allowable. Well, you're in Florida, so it would be allowable.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm in Jersey. I'm in Jersey.
Oh, Jersey.
Jersey. Oh, they got.
Yeah.
Oh, you have snow there.
Yes.
It's cold.
You have cold there.
Yes.
Well, do not do that. But you could go out and sit against a tree in a chair or a stool with your feet flat on the ground. You could buy what is termed as what's called a pair of moccasins with a copper disc in the bottom, and you could ground that way, and meditate while you're in the seat with your back against the tree, and wait for the tree to communicate with you, because it will.
Oh, I know, they talk to me. They talk to the trees all the time. I talk to trees.
Indeed.
The
have them to help you reveal your path and to reveal your focus and to reveal whom you truly are.
Thank you. Because I am a powerful creator, and there's nothing I can't do.
Of course you are.
You are indeed.
What can I do? What is my path now? Thank you.
You will find the path.
The trees talk to me all the time.
You will find the path by doing the technique we just mentioned to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I love you.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Okay, we love you too. All right.
Bye.
Okay, I think we are. I'm going to go ahead and mute you now. If I can just add just a little bit to Zorra, I think that when you meditate, that meditation will really bring forth a lot of revelations as far as what path or what direction to go. Your heart will tell you when you're in deep meditation, and if you can quiet your mind, that it will take you there because you already know it. You know your path. All right, I'm going to go ahead and mute you now.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay. Well, Zorra, I think we are done with our call.
Oh, indeed.
So if you have any further words.
Well, I can tell you what
Hold
I
on
have
one
said.
second.
I can tell you what I have said before.
About the RV?
I have already said about the RV. But I am going to reiterate about making contact with the wealth manager, with your private banker, and when you go there, do not mention the RV. Do not mention foreign currency. Only tell them that you're about to come into a large inheritance, very sizable, and they will open the doors for you, a red carpet, so to speak, and you may talk with them and make plans with your coming inheritance.
I think, Zorra, this is also a great time, if people haven't done it already, is not only to communicate with their wealth manager or private manager or attorney. If you haven't done so already, it is time to write down those projects, outline those projects.
Indeed.
So you have them in hand.
And file them away.
And bring those with you on your when you exchange or go to your when you go to your redemption centers. So it is extremely close. So these times of great energy is really the time now to do that planning and really sit down. It isn't about listening to so many calls as it is now for you to take action and put together what you want so that you know in the next few days what your plans are and then go forth and get them done. So,
Indeed.
Very
good.
All right. So with that,
may harmony, peace, joy, laughter, healing, much love be with you and yours, and have yourself a wondrous, glorious, and loving evening. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, receive. So be it.
Receive that great energy to inspire,
indeed,
in love, to teach, and to give. We are done.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, everyone, for being here today.
Indeed.
We love you all.